Hi, it's Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I wanted to do a video showing you some of the new things I picked up from Colourpop. But before we get into it, thank you so much for watching. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much. I know in the last month I've had almost 100 people subscribing to my channel, which means so much to me. And I know in the grand scheme of YouTubers, 100 people subscribing is not that much, but it has encouraged me. I'll just say that. It's encouraged me to keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully you appreciate the sorts of videos I'm putting out. If there's something specific you'd like to see, I hope you'll let me know in the comments down below. But thank you again for watching. Thank you for being subscribed. Let me show you what I got. I got some of the Pretty Fresh line, and I also got Going Coconuts. This was so exciting to me because I love a neutral eye, and I know that my goal has been, especially this year, to move outside of my beauty comfort zone. So I do have the Honey, the yellow palette from Colourpop. I have the Blue Moon palette. I also have, oh, what was it called? It was their red one. Like I have, and a purple one. I have a lot of the 9-pan palettes in this plastic packaging, but they're all in one bright color: red, orange, blue, purple. And to have one that's a neutral, it's like I didn't think they were gonna do that, so I really wanted to get it. I already have my skin primed with the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Illuminizing Primer. I didn't want to get the primer. I already have a lot of primers that I like, and I am going through a declutter. I will link for you below both my chopping block series, where you can see me trying on products from my collection and deciding which one stays, which one goes, as well as my current fall 2019 lipstick declutter. I'm done recording that one. I'm just editing and uploading it. I didn't want to like bombard you with like day after day, you know, like 3 videos a week of just lipstick declutters. I've already downsized my whole collection, and everything is already, like the lipsticks especially, are already feeling more manageable. I still have more than any one person would ever need or use, but I kind of feel like I have a good handle, and I've changed my purchasing habits. And the reason I waited so long to pick these things up, I know this is not that long of a wait, this came out a couple weeks ago, is that I'm trying really hard to be selective about what I let in. I not only get things that are either popular or everyone's talking about that are the buzzy products right now, but I only want to get stuff that I think I'd actually use and that actually makes me go, what about that? That looks interesting. So things that are going to work for me as a nearly 45-year-old. My birthday is next month. I turn 45 next month. And so my skin's different than a lot of your traditional 20s, early 30s YouTubers who do beauty, because I'm in a different place and stage in my life, and so is my skin, which is totally fine. But one of the things that really caught my attention was this. This is the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. I have the shade Fair 3W. So I'm going to put some on the back of my hand. I don't know how much I'm going to need. It's like a pump and a half. But I hear this is pretty sheer, which is fine. And I'm just going to use I didn't want to get the Colourpop sponge because I have so many sponges. This one is from Juno & Co. This is the Cloud Sponge. The idea of something that has hyaluronic, and I know a lot of things have hyaluronic acid in them, a light coverage product in the wintertime where it's already like the high for the day is like in the 20s where I live. This just seemed like a dream come true. And then Colourpop was having their 30% off sale. And I'd spent most of last week, it's the 2nd of December as I'm filming today. So I spent the week leading up to Thanksgiving and the weekend of Thanksgiving kind of off social media. Mostly I posted a few things on Instagram, and I had some things scheduled to go up here on YouTube, and I would respond to comments and stuff. But my goal was, because my kids had that whole week off, was to spend that whole week with my 2 girls. And we had a great time. We baked and we played games. We went to movies. We spent time with friends. And it was fantastic. Wow. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's much different to my skin from before pouncing in this hyaluronic acid tinted moisturizer. You know what though? Where I like it the most is right here. And that's because this part of my skin needs the least amount of correction. I don't know that I'm going to put on like another half pump and kind of keep it here towards the center of my face. So on Thanksgiving evening, when I finally got onto Instagram, it had been several days, that's when I realized Colourpop was having a 30% off sale. And I was like, they never do 30% off. They usually do 10, 20, maybe 25. And so I was like, you know, I really have been wanting to try. And normally this is $12. It was 8 something. I was like, yes, please. And the concealer was like, I don't know, I was going to say like $5. It was just like perfect pricing. And the Going Coconuts palette, which is normally $12, was like in the $8 range, as well as the setting spray. So I was like, yeah. And then the next day, I really was trying so hard not to purchase things on Black Friday. I purchased some skincare that I needed from Crave. I got 2 more bottles of the Beet Shield. They were 15% off. And then I got another bottle of their Great Barrier Relief, which is like my favorite thing. And I'm 3/4 of the way through the bottle that I have. That's only $28, or sunscreen's only $20, and then it was 15% off. So I knew I had been planning to get the skincare, because those are like 2 of the things that I use every day without fail. Spring, summer, fall, winter, doesn't matter. They're just the things that I count on for my skin. You know, this is actually pretty nice. You can still see I have the remnants of like a little blemish, a mark here. It doesn't really cover up my major hyperpigmentation spot. You still can see a lot of the freckles that I have here. I have some more hyperpigmentation up in here and along the tops of my cheekbones. But overall, I'd say it looks really nice. I want to throw some of this on. This is in the shade Fair 20 Neutral. I don't want to put too much. I really do want to keep that fresh-faced look going. So I'm just going to hit a couple of spots where I usually deal with some pigmentation. And right here. There we go. I know that seems like a lot. They're very small dots. But let's see. That's a lot more coverage than the Tinted Moisturizer. It's also a significantly different shade. It's not bad. I need like a little bit more redness coverage. I woke up this morning with redness I was not expecting right here, because I used some skincare that I had not used in a long time. And I was like, oh, I'm going to finish this up. So I put it in rotation last night, and my skin woke up this morning like red and bumpy. So maybe not. But this concealer is definitely helping that. I feel like this is the sort of thing you want to wear on the days where you don't want to look like you're wearing foundation. I feel like it is really hydrating. It is very glowy. It does have a little bit of that tack to it. I don't know if you can see that. And that's okay. That doesn't bother me. I'm going to make sure it's still pouncing really good here. Now, I know there are some people who wear this without setting it. I have to set my concealer and foundation, because now that I'm in my mid-40s, the years of going without powder are over. I wish I could move back into that, but then everything just kind of settles in my crinkles, and I'd spend the whole day like tapping it out like every 3 minutes. And then, you know, you get product transferred to your fingers, and you have less coverage. So I'm going to put a little bit of powder on there. I'm going to use the Becca Hydra Mist Set and Refresh powder, just a little teensy little bit underneath my eyes, corners of my nose, and then lightly all over my face. I'm going to dip into the Going Coconuts palette. I'm kind of excited about this. Ooh. I'm going to start with the lightest matte shade in here. This one's called Shredded. And I'm just going to pat that all over my lid. I could really see myself using this palette on like the daily. The really comfortable side of me loves this. This kind of reminds me of like the things that, like makeup wise, the things that are my habits, my neutral browns, my soft shimmers, you know, an easy look. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I love the fact that there is no pressed glitter in this palette. That makes my heart happy. I'm gonna go into this shade right here. This one's called Lovely Bunch. Like a lovely bunch of coconuts. I love the names. I just think that Colourpop names stuff so well. Must be fun to be on that committee board, the naming of shades, or if it's just one person, oh my goodness, we need to be friends. I'm gonna go into this shade right here. This is Shell Yeah. It's a slightly darker, little bit warmer color. I want to put this right out here in the crease, kind of in the outer V, and blend. I'm just going to tell you right now, my left eye is leaking tears out of the outside corner, which disturbs the concealer and the foundation. I'm going to do my best. If you ever see makeup having a moment like right here, it's because my eye won't stop watering. Like, I'm not mad, I'm not sad, I'm not crying. It's just constantly, perpetually blip, 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 blip. So that's why I've stopped wearing a lot of eyeliner, especially liquid liner, because I've not found a single liquid liner that can survive the constant crying out of the corner of my left eye that happens on a regular basis. This reminds me of one of those sequin shades from Tati Beauty. This one here, it's called Get Crackin'. So I'm just gonna press this one on here. When I saw those sequin shades in Tati's textured neutrals, I was like, that's the Colourpop mattes with shimmers. Those aren't sequins, those are Colourpop. And yes, they are, but still. I really want to use this shade right here. This is Cocoa Rush. Oh, Cocoa Rush. Oh, hello, beautiful. Oh, so pretty. So, so pretty. I feel like that's it. We're done. I'm going to put a little bit of Lovely Bunch, that first neutral, right on the underside here. Before I put my mascara on, because anytime I do it after my mascara is like devastated, I wanted to try the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. I've heard it just has the best mist. Oh, and it smells coconutty. Okay, so here we go. So I ended up getting slightly more made up than I intended to. I wanted to have more of a really fresh faced minimal look, but for me, it's all or nothing. I have a really hard time just coming in and the minute I get my makeup out, it's like playtime and I more of this and more of that. The one thing I'll tell you that I specifically didn't do is I didn't put like a shimmery inner corner highlight. I used the matte in here. This shade called Shredded. I used that like right here and just like slightly right below the inner tear duct on the lower lash line, just so that it wasn't dark. And I do have it like right underneath the arch of my brow as a highlight too. I really, really love this palette. So let me show you some swatches. These are the 9 shades in the palette. This one is hard to see. That's that Shredded shade because it's really close to my natural skin tone. But some of the ones that really excite me, I love all of these shimmers down the middle. They're just glorious. And I'm really excited to try this one here. It's more of a cool toned brown. This one's called Colada. And I also think that this shade here, Nutty, the deepest shade, is going to be fabulous. I love that we have 5 mattes, 3 metallics, and one of those, I use this one today here. It's more of like a matte with some shimmer kind of throughout. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you've seen the Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals Volume 1 palette, it's like her sequin shade where it's matte base with tiny microfine shimmer suspended throughout, or a microfine glitter suspended. And I think it makes for a really fun look. The one thing I will say is, even though putting it on the way they suggest with your finger, that Tati suggests, I feel like all the shimmer is gone out of the one that I'm wearing today. Thank you, left eye, for continuing to cry on me and ruin my eye makeup. Left eye, what can I do about you? I don't know. Look, I have too much gloss on. Give me a sec. I would say out of all the things I tried today, this is the one that has me the most excited. I love the fact that there is not a pressed glitter in here. After trying Tati's palette, I'm not opposed to pressed glitter, but I don't wear it on the daily. So to have 9 shades, I could actually use any day of the week and not for any situation and not feel like I needed a party or a celebration or I'm wearing glitter today. I feel like these are really great. And I've been loving having eyeshadows that have limited numbers. I do like a big palette, don't get me wrong, like the Metropolis palette from Natasha Denona with 24 shades, the one from Kathleen Lights that has 32 shades is So Jaded, but I really do feel like a limited number of options makes it easier for me to really get a look done fast. And this right here, I'm talking just the shadow itself, took less than 5 minutes. And for me, that's really remarkable because if I'm using multiple shades, it usually takes me a good 10 to 15 minutes because eyeshadow, although I love eyeshadow, eyeshadow is still kind of like my weak spot. I don't always blend really well. I don't always use the right brush for the type of formula I'm dealing with, and I complicate things and I have to go back and fix it. And I haven't figured all of that out yet because I am not a makeup artist. But this literally, the shadow took less than 5 minutes. It went on super easy. Had I used 1 or 2 shades, it would have taken like a minute or 2. But I really feel like this palette is super, super easy. And I really do love the quality of Colourpop pressed shadows. They're just fantastic. And this Going Coconuts, this is nice. I was surprised that there was as much coverage as there was in this Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. It feels like it has a little bit more ability to stick because when I put it down and then I was tapping it out with a damp sponge, I felt like at times I really had to work to move it. And when it was dry, it didn't look so much hydrated or creamy. It looked slightly more matte, but the coverage on this is nice. I want to keep trying this. I don't want to make up my mind yet, but I'm hoping that I can find a less expensive option for some of my more loved, more expensive concealers. But we'll see. I think this is nice, but you have to know what it is. It's a tinted moisturizer. It's not a foundation. You're not going to get a lot of coverage from it. I would say this is just like for those people who either don't want to wear foundation but want a little bit of coverage to their skin. This is like ultralight to light coverage. I don't feel like it builds very well. Here's one thing I will tell you. I did start recording this video and I went and washed my face because I put too much of this on. I don't feel like it builds well. I tried it that first go around with a brush. I didn't like the look of it. I tried it with my fingers. I didn't like the look of it. I feel like you get the best application with the sponge, which is why they sell a sponge in this Pretty Fresh set. But I have so many sponges, I didn't want to get the Colourpop sponge. So use a softer sponge to pounce it in with. You might be able to make it work with a brush or with your fingers, but I found that if I was gonna get a look done fast, I needed something like this to really make it happen. Now this, I'm very intrigued by. I love the idea because it's not only a setting mist, it's also midday refresh, which for me, spraying this, I just want to put my face in it. In the middle of the day, now that we're officially not in winter, but we're only a matter of like weeks away from it being officially winter, my face barely survived last winter. The older I get, the less natural oils and sebum my face makes, the more I need to make sure I am covered in hydration. Because I don't have a naturally dry skin type, but my skin can get very dry from heaters, from the cold wind, from the dry temperatures, because where I live in the state of Washington, it's not Seattle, it's the exact opposite corner. It's cold, it's dry, it's one of those where your skin really suffers. So I'm constantly like moisturizer on the hands, and 20 minutes later I still have gator paws. So to be able to spray like a hyaluronic acid throughout the day on my face, just to kind of make sure I don't feel like my face is going to crack and fall off when I smile. I may need another one of these just to keep in my handbag. I really feel like if you're looking for something to add a little boost of hydration, if you're feeling a little tight, a little dry from all the heaters in winter time, I feel like this might be that thing. So I am looking forward to using this. I will have to let you know, I will have to check back with you on these guys. I feel like these guys are a solid yes for me right here, but I'm gonna have to get back to you on these guys and see whether I reach for them or not, or how I like to use them best, or if I found different ways to make them look even better than they are. Oh look, there goes my eye again. Seriously, left eye. Could you please stop? I love this look. I feel like it's perfect for whatever it is you're doing for the day, whether you're running errands, whether you're heading to work, whether you're going to a PTA meeting at school, whether you've got, you know, some sort of neighborhood get together, whether you're going out to dinner with friends or family, whether you're going out on a, like whatever it is you're doing. If you're going out on a date, this works too because it's really pretty, really soft, and really easy. And I'm all about the ease. The older I get, the less time I want to spend blending forever. So I love a formula that doesn't require me to do that, where my skin looks good and not overly painted. I really, really think this is a nice look. Very easy, very comfortable for today. But I will check back with you and let you know my thoughts on these products in about, I don't know, maybe about a month. Thank you so much for watching today. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't, would you please let me know if you have any favorite Colourpop products, what they are, if it's something I haven't tried yet, or you think that I would love based on what you know me to like. You know, comfortable lipsticks, skin that looks like skin, easy to blend eyes, a favorite mascara, whatever your recommendation. Doesn't have to be Colourpop, but whatever your recommendation, leave it for me down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.